We're talking conspiracy theories, baby. I love them, you love them, even your weird Uncle Jibbo loves them. Which, maybe that's a sign about us and not him. But that's besides the point. Today, I have 5 of the dumbest conspiracy theories I could find, and I'm just going to list them out for you. Let's start with something that sounds so ridiculous, but also makes a worrying amount of sense if you really just sit and think about it. The light bulb dark sucker theory. That's right, you didn't mishear me. Light bulbs don't emit light, they suck darkness. How much I gotta pay to be darkness? That's right, darkness isn't nothing. Darkness is stuff. Sticky, heavy, soul-sucking stuff. And your light bulb, it's basically a tiny, innocent-looking vacuum cleaner for the void. Think about your last burnt-out light bulb. Did it die because it was old? No, of course not. It died because it got full of darkness. Max capacity reached. Darkness overload. Out of service like a McDonald's ice cream machine. They're f***ing always out of service. Why are they always out of service? Candles, they work the same way. Ever notice how the wick turns black? That's not soot. That's darkness being sucked into submission. Again, how much do I gotta pay to be dark? I want to be dark. Make me darkness. Some nerds may ask, but what about photons? And listen, the dark sucker theory, it doesn't care about photons. Darkness, it moves how it wants. Sometimes slowly like a creeping sense of dread, and sometimes fast like whenever you stub your toe in the middle of the night. Also, just a fun fact, this theory was supposedly circulated in Bell Labs newspapers in the 1980s. So, just food for thought. That's just something cool that I found while I was researching that I thought I would let you know. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have a theory about the Titanic. The Titanic, it didn't just hit an iceberg. Oh, no. It got bombed. Nuked even. Well, I'm not sure if it was nuked, but bombed. Here are some of my favorite variations that I found. There were quite a few, I believe, but these are just some of my favorites that I found. So, yeah. So the first one is a German U-boat attack. Because, I mean, yeah, obviously. They believe that it was like a primitive attack before World War I, essentially. Which kind of makes sense, but it was debunked for, hang on, I'll just read them off. The following reasons: U-boats didn't have the range in 1912 to do this. Nighttime targeting was nearly impossible, says many naval historians. So, there's that. There's survivor testimony to just say that this just isn't true. Which always, obviously, that always helps. And then there was no torpedo damage on the ship. So, if it was done by a torpedo, it would just eviscerated, like it's just gone. It just disintegrated into nothingness. Another variation claims that it was J.P. Morgan. The theory goes that J.P. Morgan sank the Titanic to eliminate rivals like Guggenheim. I don't know if I said that right. Strauss and Astor. I don't know who these people are. I believe they're just like other big financial like names. But he wanted to kill them, essentially. There's no evidence to support this basically at all. So this is most likely not what happened, but I like to think that this big rich dude, well, I don't know if he's big. I don't know how big JP Morgan is. But this rich dude just said, you know what, f it, I just want to kill all my rivals in the industry. So the final variation of this theory is basically that the Titanic itself wasn't actually the one that sunk and got bombed. It was the Olympic, and they say that they did this for insurance purposes essentially, but I mean, I don't know, I'm not really sure. This is also possible. It most likely didn't happen because usually whenever you get insurance on something, it's usually less expensive than what it originally cost. So unless there was some secret dealings going on in the background, I don't see how logically this one even makes sense. But it's cool. I liked it, so I included it. Number 3 on the list today is the Paul is dead theory. According to some, Paul McCartney died in 1996. Hit by a car. Gone. Dead. Oh, and the Beatles, they just covered it up. They replaced him with a lookalike named William Campbell. And the clues? Oh my god, the clues. Abbey Road? Not just an album cover. It's a funeral procession. Lennon's the priest. Star's the Undertaker. Not you. Get out of here. George Harrison is the gravedigger. And Paul, barefoot, out of step, just a walking corpse. And the music? Strawberry Fields Forever. Lennon allegedly whispers, I buried Paul at the end. Then there's Revolution 9, where number 9 turns into Turn Me On, Dead Man.
What do you mean by that?
Playing music backwards to hear something that you want to hear has never made sense to me. That is something that has never and will never make sense to me. Why do that? You're just hearing what you're thinking. And let's go back to the Abbey Road album cover. You see what hand the cigarette's in? Paul's left-handed, not right-handed. And somehow people still pore over lyrics like detectives. Can you imagine doing that in your free time? I mean, like, honestly, you kind of gotta admire the dedication to the craft. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of error. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, I have some news that you might want to sit down for. Dinosaurs like T-Rexes, Triceratops, Velociraptors, Pterodactyls, they're all fake. Yep, some people genuinely believe that dinosaurs never existed. How can you believe that dinosaurs never existed? The dinosaurs were a hoax theory is rooted in religious fundamentalism and a distrust of science. According to believers, fossils were either fake or planted to support evolution. Some even say God might have planted them as a test of faith. Yeah, big man upstairs really just sent down some big lizard bones just to say, yeah, do you believe in me or do you believe in this big lizard? What are we talking about? Some key points to this theory include that obviously dinosaurs conflict with the Bible. It's a contradiction to like most things Christianity based. They even say that the fossils are faked. So, you know, like I said that earlier, but that's insane. And missing skeletons. So not only are the fossils that are here faked, the ones that are real, that would be real, they're not here because they're not real. What? Basically, they say that there should be more skeletons here than there are now, which just isn't how science works. Like, in that case, you'd be walking over like a bunch of dead people every single day. Things die every day. What are we talking about? And then obviously a lack of discoveries before the 1800s, because obviously before you discover something, it didn't exist. That's why before gravity, no, wait, hang on, I'll get there. Before Isaac Newton discovered gravity, it just didn't exist. People were just able to jump around like they were on the fucking moon. If you can't tell, this theory me, I can't stand this theory. It makes no sense to me. It makes none. I love dinosaurs too. Like they're just cool, bro. Like imagine a world with no Jurassic Park. That would fucking suck. Okay, that would suck. That would just stink. Oh, and by the way, just to mention, modern birds are dinosaurs. By the way, the sparrows and pigeons and all that you see outside are literally descendants of dinosaurs. Which leads me into my next theory. Alright, and last but not least, I regret to be the one to inform you that birds are not real. No, seriously, look outside. That robin you see flying, not real. That pigeon sitting on the power line, not real. It's also retardant, but we'll get to that later. They're all just drones. Every single bird is just a drone. That's what this theory posits. And it all started in 2017 when this guy, Peter McIndoe, just a normal guy, went to a women's march in Memphis. He saw pro-Trump counter-protesters, and his intrusive thoughts just kind of took over. He made a sign that said birds aren't real. He improvised a conspiracy theory right on the spot. No research, no plan, just pure chaos. That's it. Just straight to it. Straight to the action. A video of this went viral, and then just like that, the movement just blew up. It just went massive. So this theory claims that all birds in the U.S. that were exterminated is the word, between 1959 and 1971, and they were replaced with government drones. These drones would be used to spy on citizens. Some of the crazy shit claimed in this, by the way, besides the birds being extinguished, is again that birds, whenever they sit on power lines, they're recharging, which actually kind of makes sense, like a little bit. Because how can they do that? I never understood how they can stand on power lines. Bird poop is actually a tracking device, which is one of the crazier things in this. And also that the JFK assassination had something to do with the fact that he didn't want to kill all the birds. What's going on? And get this, by the way, in China, real bird drones do exist. Actual military-grade surveillance bird drones. Coincidence?
I think not!
McAdoo didn't just stop at just making the sign. He actually just went on a full media tour with interviews. He went on shows like 60 Minutes. He did interviews for Vice. And he also gave TED Talks, which is pretty cool. They were all in character because this is obviously satirical. He just made that shit on the spot. And at one point, he even vomited on live TV, which is insane. Like, that's absolutely crazy. But like I said, the movement is just satire. It's just meant to be a safe space to laugh at misinformation on the internet and also kind of laugh at the other conspiracy theories. And so yeah, that's it. That's 5 of the dumbest conspiracy theories I could find on the internet. If you know any dumber, comment them down below. Or if you have any suggestions for something you want me to make a video about in the future, just let me know. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the deal. Hit the notification bell as well. Help support the channel. And yeah, peace.